Remember, this fair is your affair. Learn about the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Francis Marion University. We're focused on the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair, and we're visiting with Harold Leibenrood, the treasurer of the Florence City County Agricultural Commission. Good morning, Harold.
Good morning. It's nice to be with you.
Thanks so much for being in again this year. Obviously, it was so great being there last year at the fairgrounds. The fair was just kicking off, and to think about all the activities going on, yourself, MP Nolan, Bobby Jones, John Albrecht, just a great crowd last year.
Yes, we did. We had a good crowd and had good weather.
Yes.
And that is the key to success of any kind of event like that, because weather turns people out.
Oh, yes, very
also
definitely.
Keeps them at home.
Very definitely. Well, later this week, we're focused on the PD International Festival, which will be held out here at Francis Marion. You think about an event like that, which is a single day from 11 to 5, you think about, golly, they've got to have good weather.
They've got to have good weather.
Of course, the fair is spread out. It kicks off next Monday, the 6th, and it'll run through Saturday, the 11th.
Yes, that's right. Start late afternoon, about 5 o'clock, and the gates open.
How many years has the fair been around, Harold?
Well, the Eastern Carolina Fair is a activity of the Florence City County Agricultural Commission, and that commission was organized in 1950. So this will be our 53rd year.
Wow.
Originally, the fair was held at the airport because after World War II, the airport was surplus property, and there were a group of folk in the Florence area who saw the need for expanding the fair and were able to change it from what was the PD Fair to the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair, and a act of the legislature created the Florence City County Agricultural Commission, who then sponsored the fair, as well as a lot of other activities that go on during the year to promote agriculture.
Absolutely. MP talked about a couple of those yesterday. Are you originally from the area, Harold?
Well, yes and no. I'm originally from Mount Pleasant, which is in Charleston County, but I've spent a good portion of my work life and adult life in the PD in the Florence area. We moved to Florence in the fall of 1984 after I retired. Prior to that, I was with the Clemson Extension Service and spent some time in Horry County, and then was at Clemson for about 15 years. But the area that I worked was the PD County, so I spent a great deal of time here. In fact, when I had the retirement activity for me, I had figured it out that I spent actually about 4 years of nights in Florence. So,
wow.
So we traveled a lot and stayed in this area quite a bit.
You definitely know the area. What positions have you held with the Extension Service, Harold?
Well, I started off as an assistant county agent in Dorchester County, and then went back to graduate school, then went to Clarendon County, then went to Bamberg County. That was my one venture out of the area, and then came back as county agent in Horry County, and then moved from there to Clemson as a district agent, or a district director for the 16 counties in the PD region. So we've been around a lot.
Yes, you all have. And the PD region being thought of as 16 counties of the 46, it's amazing to think how many counties really make up the PD.
That's where about 60% of the agricultural income for the state comes from.
Is that right?
That's right, yes. Because if you stop to think, we have a tremendous tobacco income, plus cotton, corn, soybeans, and vegetable crops. The livestock area primarily is swine, not so much beef cattle, but some beef cattle, and essentially no dairies. But it still with that produces a tremendous amount of agricultural income for the state. It
is amazing hearing about that. We were with Ed Young about a month ago. I can't remember where we were visiting with him, but it was amazing hearing about the impact. Of course, his old District 6, the congressional district which he represented, talking about being one of the largest agricultural districts in the country, if not east of the Mississippi. It was amazing hearing about the impact.
District 6 at that time encompassed many of the PD counties. It only excluded some of the ones down in the lower part of the state, Charleston and Georgetown and the like.
When you think about the Florence City County Agricultural Commission, can you remember when you first became associated with the commission?
Yes. When I was promoted to the district agent position at Clemson, the act of the legislature provides that the district agent or their designee will serve on the commission. So that was in 1969, and I served on the commission from then until I retired in '84. Or the county agent in Florence served a part of the time because of the convenience of having somebody locally to participate. After I retired, I had a one-year reprieve, and in 1985 joined the commission as its executive director and stayed in that position until about 4 years ago.
Is that right? And then you took over as treasurer?
Then I became appointed as a member of the commission again, and because we had a shake-up in the membership for retirement reasons, the person who was the treasurer was replaced by another person, and I became treasurer.
Huh. Now, Harold, you talked about some other activities during the year that the commission puts on other than the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair. Obviously, the commission is the hosting body for the fair.
Well, yes. The commission sponsors various other kinds of activities and really now makes available our facility, which, by the way, is a next-door neighbor to Francis Marion, which we have a nice relationship with. It makes a facility available to other events and activities that need to use it. And we have just all kinds of things going on over there. That facility was built in 1991. Going back into a little bit of the history again, in '85 when I joined the commission, the fair had been at the airport, and the city and county wanted to use that property for other things. The airport was expanding. The commission had been very active in sponsoring the PD State Farm Market. So we were able to obtain a lease at the PD State Farm Market to conduct the fair. We only had a 3-week lease, so we would not be able to do some things there that we'd like to do. The fair was growing, the market was growing, which we desperately wanted it to do. So we felt it was time to get out and get our own property. So we went to what was then Farmers Home Administration, which is now the Rural Development Administration, and was able to acquire a loan to borrow the money to build the facility that we have now as a communities development activity. And so it's used for all sorts of community activities in addition to the fair that we have there.
That is wonderful. Off the top of your head, do you think you can name the counties that participate in the Eastern Carolina Agricultural
Well, there are about
Fair?
13 in the district that do it, not the 16 PD counties, but from Horry to Chesterfield, from Chesterfield to Sumter and Lee and Williamsburg counties, and the ones that are in between.
Share with the viewers, Harold, how the fair has changed over the years, at least the years in which you've been associated with it.
Well, the fairs have changed just like agriculture has. Agriculture going from a family farm type to much more commercial in operation. We have gone more from family operated type activities to more commercial. Back in the early days, young people were able to get out of school and spend the week at the fair taking care of their animals. Now they can't even get out during a day to come to the fair. They have to come in the afternoons or evenings. So it's changed from that aspect. Back in the early days, we had a lot of family farms that put in booths that displayed their own farm activities and the things that they grew on their farms. We had a different type of livestock production where we had small farm herds of cattle and many purebred activities as far as hogs are concerned. Those have changed. So there's been that kind of evolution that has taken place in the things that have gone on at the fair.
It was amazing yesterday to hear Jess Adams talk about the children buying the animals at a 55, 60-pound range and growing them north of 200 pounds, even up to 300 pounds possibly. And the excitement not only for the children, the learning aspect for them, but for their parents.
Oh, yeah.
Truly amazing.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of them take home the information that they get on how to do things and what to do and the management skills that are required, and that becomes very important to the family.
Harold, does the Florence City County Agricultural Commission meet throughout the year?
We meet periodically. We do not meet as a regular scheduled meeting, but most often do. Most often meet on a quarterly basis, and again as needed in between.
And its main order of business is planning the fair.
Well, it's to conduct the operation of the commission, and fortunately, we're able to have an executive director that takes care of the day-to-day activities of the commission as well as managing the fair.
What do you think has contributed to the longevity and success of the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair?
Well, it's like so many other things. The people like it and enjoy it. They look forward to it each year. The various kinds of things that they see, they get to bring the children in and see the livestock and the other kinds of agricultural exhibits. As well as riding the rides and having a good time on the midway, going to the various different types of entertainment that we have, seeing the various types of agricultural and professional exhibits that are in the buildings, and those kinds of things.
Harold,
and it's just having a good time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Having a good time. Those are great words. When you think for you, this is less than a week away now. It kicks off next Monday, less than a mile from here.
You
must be crunching.
Well, well, you know, the fair begins its planning stage about Tuesday of Fair Week the year before.
Oh, wow.
So once, it's like a snowball going down a hill. Once it leaves the starting gate, there's no stop until it gets to the bottom. And then somewhere in between, you start talking to your various exhibitors and contributors and those kinds of things, looking at the opportunities you have to make changes and that sort of thing for the next one. So it's a 12-month operation.
So you're carrying
13,
a little,
actually.
Yeah, that's right, 13. You're carrying a notebook out there with you and jotting down things, talking to exhibitors.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking through different aspects of the upcoming year.
Trying to make plans for next year.
How exciting. How exciting. What are some of the things you do when you think about preparing for the fair yourself, not only as treasurer of the City County Agricultural Commission, but just as someone who wants to be out there to make sure things ride smoothly?
Well, one of the responsibilities we have, of course, as a commission, and my job is the preparation of a budget to make sure that we have the financial thing to do the things that we need to do as far as agricultural and promotion and prizes and awards and those kind of things for the young people and the adults who participate in the various exhibits. This year, one of the things that's being pushed in the building are flowers and plants and those kinds of things, and we think that's going to be a very nice display.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Harold, what are some of the competitions held during the fair?
Well, in the home arts area, of course, there's still some canning, although most of the homemakers don't do much canning anymore, but some still do and participate in to can those kinds of things that are exhibited for the fair. As I mentioned, we have a really nice flower show and that sort of thing. In the 4-H area, in the youth area, we have the livestock, swine, and a goat project. I expect Jess talked a little bit about that yesterday. We have a really nice poultry show, and when we call it poultry, we not only have just chickens, but we have rabbits and pigeons and those kinds of other animals, small animals in that part of the show too. So it's a pretty wide variety of things that are going on now.
We've got about 3 minutes, Harold. Do you have a favorite event out there?
Well, you know, my college degree was in animal science.
Oh, yeah.
And so I like the animal part of it. I particularly like the hog part of it. One of the really nice events that we have in the goat class is we have a costume class.
Oh, wow.
That the young people will dress up their goat and bring it back in for show. And it really makes a nice show. And it's a good show, not just for the young person doing it, but it's a good show for the people that are participating in it. So, yes, I like the livestock part of it the best. And the odor of the cotton candy and the French fries and the onions that are being cooked.
It must be special. We're going to have to get back up here next week.
Bring a good appetite.
Very definitely. Well, it's so exciting to think about that aspect of so many things going on out there. And to know there's so many viewers who may have never attended events, seen a goat costume, goat in costume. And events like that are very exciting.
That's right. And we, of course, have some free entertainment. We have pig races and a petting zoo and a magic show. And there's a person who doesn't live in the area but resides in the area. His name is Mo Vint, who plays a harmonica, was one of the original harmonica cats for those of us in our age group that know what it's all about. He's going to be there. The carnival that's coming is Amusements of America. Now, I was looking up something just today about it. This will be their 48th year participating at the fair.
Wow.
Amusements of America is in the Guinness World Book of Records. They have the longest running traveling carnival of any in the world.
Is that right?
Traveling carnival, yes. And it's quite an operation.
Absolutely. Harold, how do local farmers, when we talk about the aspect of corporations having taken a big stake into the local farming aspect, but how do local farmers who are still very hands-on in their businesses benefit from the agricultural fair?
Well, they get to see some of the activities that are there and some of the things that are going on. We don't have as much as we did at one time. At one time, we could get our tractor dealers and various other people to come in, but it's so expensive now to have those kind of displays that mostly what they get to see are the exhibits in the exhibit building and the swine and poultry activities.
What lessons do the young people learn from their participation in the livestock programs, and how are these projects funded?
Well, the livestock, the goat and the pig project are funded by the commission or by the fair. We buy the animals, give them to the young people. They grow them out. There they learn the management and the feeding techniques that they need to learn. And then they're brought back in for the show. We give prize money for the show, and then when it's over, the animals are sold, and the young person who has participated is paid whatever the animal brings. So it's at a no cost, essentially, to the young person participating.
Harold, lastly, what do you think motivates you year after year to volunteer for this event?
Well, somebody once said to be involved in the fair, you have to be a little bit crazy. So I guess maybe I'm just a little bit crazy. But once you get it sort of in your blood, it's kind of hard to get it out. And it's really a nice thing to go out and see the people who come have a good time and enjoy and see some of the agricultural things at its best.
It's not his craziness that makes him tick. It's getting out there and seeing people have a great time, particularly really learning something while they're out there and seeing some of the children grow as their animals grow. Harold Leibenrood, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. I enjoyed being here.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to Pat Lee coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at Francis Marion University. We're focused on the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair, which kicks off next Monday, about a mile east of here, and we're visiting with Pat Lee, the office manager for the Florence City County Agricultural Commission. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning. How you doing?
Thank you so much for being with us this morning, obviously following Harold Leibenrood and thinking about all the activities that have gone on out at the fairground for so many years.
That's correct. We've been there about 52, 54 years. It's been a long time.
That is amazing. I wonder what 501 or 378 out here was like back then.
Well, we moved to the new fairgrounds in 1990.
Okay.
The original was at the airport, and then went from the airport to the farmer's market. And then we bought the land where we're at now, 1 mile east of Francis Marion University.
Well, that is a great location, truly. And so many folks pass that area. It's great such that it can bring in all the counties in the PD area, and of course even over from Robinson and Scotland, Columbus County, folks can get here so easily.
It's a convenient place to be at.
It truly is. Pat, about yourself, are you a native of Florence?
Yes, I am. I've been here all my life.
Is that, how long have you been associated with the Florence Agricultural Commission?
35 years.
35 years.
I started in 1968, I believe it was.
And with the City County Agricultural Commission, have you also, in that same amount of time, been involved with the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair?
Well, I've been involved with the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fairgrounds for 35 years also. I started off with Mr. Robert Jones, which is was the office manager at that time, executive director, whatever, and then I worked with him, and then he passed away. Right. And then Mr. Frank Kears came in, and he was the director, and then he worked till he retired, and then Mr. Harold Leibenrood, and now I'm associated with Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones, that's
yes,
right.
Sir.
And was he related to the first gentleman?
Yes, sir, it's his son.
Is that right? How exciting.
Bobby, I think, has been associated with the fair about 45 years.
I remember Bobby was in with us last year,
yes,
of course,
sir.
when we taped out at the fairgrounds. Had a wonderful time out there. Really learned a lot. Obviously, MP Nolan was in yesterday with Jess Adams, and when we think about MP was with us last year, and John Albright, just such a great lineup out there. What did you do when you weren't working in the commission's office?
I worked with Bell South for 30 years, and then I
Mm-hmm.
retired with them in 92.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started working with the fairgrounds like 4 hours a day, or or longer. As time comes on, your hours get longer and longer.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that have to be put into place each year?
Well, we have to make sure you've got your vendors and your exhibitors and different ones that come in, and some of them are locally, some of them are out-of-town people.
Mm-hmm.
But we always contact the same ones that was there the year before to make sure they're going to come back, because give them the opportunity to come in first.
Right, sure, that's very important. And obviously, when do you begin this process?
Well, you start it back in the week after the fair.
Right after the fair. Just take a week off to slow down a little bit. I'm sure that's tough. You were saying before we started up on that last Saturday, the 11th, kicks off at 11A, runs to 1A, but you're out there 8A or earlier.
Until it's over with.
Virtually 24 hours until,
Almost.
Golly, that is amazing. And you contact the vendors, or most of the
I
vendors from the area?
contact the vendors, and then if it's a new person, they call the office, and then we try to set up and make sure we don't have so many of the same type things, because everybody wants to make a little bit of profit from whatever they're selling or whatever. So we try not to have too many of the same things at the same time.
Are most of the vendors from the PD area?
No, so we have a lot of them that's been coming in, several from Florida that's been coming, like the Funnel Cake Man. And Rick Upmer, he sells pizzas and things like that. And they're out of town. And we've got several local vendors.
Obviously, with your goal to make sure that a lot of them don't overlap, you select what kind of vendors will be there, the cotton candy, etc., and the funnel cakes, you said.
We have, I ask them what they're going to do and all, and then I'll tell them I've already got a vendor doing this and got that. But I take their names and addresses, so if that vendor doesn't show up, if they got an opening where they can come, then they will come. If not, I'll put them down for the following year and send out an application to them.
How do you feel now, Pat, that we're a little less than a week from the kickoff?
Well, I'm used to it by now. I mean,
Right.
After 35 years, you get used to it. And Monday is really a hectic day.
Yeah.
And you always say, well, I don't believe it was this bad last year, and it's worse this year. But after Monday, it sort of smooths down a little bit.
Who schedules the different competitions and obviously goes about selecting the judges for the events?
Well, Mr. Jones does all of that, and then the lady, Miss Frankie Jones, is over works with Clemson, and they get the judges for the arts and the crafts and all of this.
Are the different awards inscribed for each event?
The goats and the pigs and things like that, they win trophies, and they are fixed with whatever category they're in and all, and they win money prizes off of them. And the crafts and things, they win awards, but they get ribbons and all for that too.
Well, it was so exciting yesterday to hear Jess talk about how the children can watch these. Many of these animals grow from 55 pounds upwards, north of 200.
That's true, because we give them weight start in July, and a lot of the children's been doing this. Some of them's been doing it for years and years and years, because I usually go out and take their names and addresses and help them tag them. I don't tag now, but, get all the paperwork ready for them at Clemson and help them out as much as I can.
Have you set up the schedule for the school groups to attend the fair this year?
The kindergarten children are, school groups is going to do field trips and everything. They come on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. They usually come about 9 and stay till about 12.
Okay, what other groups have special visiting hours?
Well, now, the handicapped children or Head Start children or special needs children or whatever come on Tuesdays, and they come around about 9 to 12.
Okay, from 9 to 12. Will you just share real quick the hours for the fair?
Hours Monday is from 5 to 11. Tuesday through Friday is 3 to 11. And Saturday it starts at 11 a.m. and goes to 1 a.m.
Okay, and if a viewer wanted to call in between now and next Monday to get a schedule of events, what would be the best number to call, Pat?
Call area code 843-665-5173.
Okay, great. Pat, do you have a favorite event at the fair?
I think my favorite event is like when the children come in the mornings and seeing animals, and because some children don't even know what a pig or a goat, or they think a pig might be a dog. You know, they really don't know, and that's my special time, is to see the children.
It is so amazing to see. Last year when we were there were huge groups of children out there. I mean, tons of kids. It's amazing.
And they are all so excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Get a field trip. What do you enjoy so much about your work with the Agricultural Commission that's motivated you to work here for 35 years, Pat?
Well, it's the people I work with. We all work along so good together and everything, and meeting the Amusements of America, which is our show that comes in. They are 5 brothers, and they are a close family, and they treat you like family. They're very nice, and it's just, just a group of people that you enjoy working with.
Mm-hmm. So those great folks she enjoys working with, and seeing the kids out there, busloads of them showing up. You can get out there as well. Call 843-665-5173 to get a list of the scheduled events, or just get out there a mile east of Francis Marion, starting next Monday, running through the following Saturday. Pat, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Harold Leibenrood, the treasurer of the Florence City County Agricultural Commission, and Pat Lee, the manager of the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair, for making today's Carolina People so special. Get out here next Monday, big day.